3, 2, 1. I'm not seeing it.
Takes a second for it to update, but we are live. It is streaming into it.
Okay. Well, for all of you outside of the library board, there's definitely a lag in there.
Yep.
So I'm going to mute. Hang on. There we go. Okay, I muted my YouTube so that I'm not hearing everything with a 20-second delay. Everyone still good?
Yes.
Okay. We want to welcome everyone who's tuning in to our meeting tonight. We're going to begin the board meeting at 6 p.m. We're going to have a roll call. With us tonight, we've got myself, President Jim Horth, Vice President Chaz Warden, Secretary Jen Kassler, Treasurer Kevin Allard, our other trustee member Paula Moyer, our Director Jessica, I'm so sorry. Godfrey, thank you.
Oh, no.
Every once in a while, I forget.
You are consistent, at least.
Right? Jessica Godfrey, our director, and our two assistants, Sherry Webb and Celicia Robbins. All right, with that, can I get a motion to approve the agenda? We have one correction, first of all, to add to it. We neglected to put back in our period for public expression, which will be right after the reports.
Motion to amend the agenda to include public expression and to approve the agenda upon the addendum.
Thank you. Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you, Chaz. All in favor?
Aye.
Very good. On to the approval of our minutes from the February 25th and the March 17th minutes. Does anyone have any corrections or revisions to those minutes?
I think my last name was spelt wrong in them.
How do you spell your last name?
Worden.
Then they've been spelled wrong since the beginning of secretarial. Because I just copy and paste. All right, we'll update those.
Thank you. All right, can I get a motion to approve the minutes from the February 25th and March 17th meetings as corrected?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Chaz.
Second.
Thank you, Kevin. All in favor?
Aye.
Very good. On to our reports, our director's report. Has everyone had a chance to review the director's report?
Yep.
Oh, wait, stop just 1 second. There was a giant spider in front of the screen. What? Just, can you go back to that real quick?
To what?
Just who approved what? There was, I don't know if you guys could see it on the camera. There was a giant spider.
We approved the minutes from the last two board meetings.
And who did it?
Chaz made the motion, Kevin seconded.
Okay, thank you. Sorry.
That's all right.
I don't know if you saw me killing it.
I did.
Oh.
I did it.
Like right there.
Okay. Directors, we don't run into these sorts of things in person meetings.
Oh, down in the basement, there's everything down there. Spiders.
Okay. Director's report. Has everyone had a chance to review it?
Yes.
Jessica, thank you for pulling that together. I know there's not a whole lot to get together. You know, when we're closed, you don't have a whole lot of information, but I was very impressed to see that we were pretty much on track for the first half of the month.
Yeah, I mean, the numbers still look decent. It's just they are lower because we're closed halfway in the month, so that changes things.
Right.
But the numbers are still decent. I mean, total transactions were 1,181 compared to last time it was 1,388. So the March 2019 compared to 2020.
Now, we didn't have a whole lot of the e-media yet, but we're going to expect that that's going to blossom very quickly, right?
That's going to be huge. That's going to be a lot larger than usual. We usually have about 80 checkouts a month. I think it'll be twice that or more.
Okay, because that's the only way people have to get materials at this point.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that everything from Jessica for the director's report? Anyone have anything for her?
No.
All right. Yeah, if you guys don't speak up, I'm gonna have to take the silence as a yes. I used to say, I will take your silence as a yes to volunteering to anything. Finance report, Kevin.
Okay, so I sent out a link to the finance report for this month. The balance on the accounts is on that report. In terms of the scheduled bill, we have our Wells Fargo payment, our Spectrum payment for internet, and then our Capital One account, which is $978.01 this month. In terms of unscheduled bill, which I will ask for a resolution on, we have Solicitor Robbins 3305 for mileage reimbursement. 2 bills to NCLS, one for $1853.65, which is for our annual CERC fees, and the other is a check for $150 that we approved last month, but I still need the approval to write the check. That was for the overdrive donations to ensure additional digital resources for our patrons while we were closed. We have a payment due to Erie Insurance for $152, and then there is a medical reimbursement for $50. So at this time, unless there's any questions, I ask, I motion to approve the finance report and to pay the unscheduled bills for this month.
Anyone have any questions for Kevin?
Wasn't
Okay.
the mileage reimbursement for last month?
Somehow we left solicitor off that.
Oh, okay. Were the bills paid last month by any chance?
They were. I'm gonna drop them off to Chaz to countersign the checks and send them up. Are you in the library at all this week?
I'm going in Saturday morning,
All right.
around Saturday morning.
All right. I'll send you my phone number just to text me so I can pick them up, if that's all right. I'll wear gloves.
Okay, with that in mind, we have a motion on the table to accept the finance report and to pay the unscheduled bills.
Make that motion.
We have a motion from Kevin. Can I get a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Jen. All in favor?
Aye.
Very good. All right, it is time for our period for public expression. Chaz, do we have anybody on?
No one said anything.
Okay. Is there anybody to tell if anyone is actually watching?
We have 3 concurrent viewers.
Good. Well, one of them's me.
And one of them's me. And probably one is you, Chaz.
Maybe. Yeah, it probably counts. So, yeah.
Okay.
Jameson's watching, so.
Oh,
Hi, Jameson.
Say hi to Miss Sherry and everyone.
Hi.
All right, well then on to new business. The bylaw review that we need to update at this meeting.
We got the old business. Capital project.
Oh, look at that. The one I have the one I printed out doesn't even have the old business on it. I'm sorry. The
That's
wrong
Where
agenda.
did that go? Sorry, I had it on there. I
No,
don't know.
it's on there. I'm looking at the latest one. So
I know.
well.
Is it on the old? I had it on there, but I don't know what happened to it. Hold on, can you?
Well, let's address the old business first.
all right. So I called Mike LaSalle today. When we left off with him, is the bids had come in higher than we had thought. And he was going to try to see if he could negotiate it down. I asked him to schedule a meeting for next week where he and Jim and I can stand 6 feet from each other and sort of talk about this and get this project going. As you all know, we were concerned about this project in that we thought we were going to have to go to the bank to secure a non-interest loan because you have to pay for the project and they get reimbursed for the state. Obviously, we know that due to our fiscal conservancy, we're in a position to be able to do that directly. So I expect that barring any coronavirus extensions, that we would begin the work, that we would apply for the permit sometime this month, and that we would begin the work sometime in May.
Okay, how does this project apply as far as essential construction work?
It's not essential. So that's what I'm saying. Barring any,
Okay.
further, I mean, right now, we're in a position where we can't do anything till the 1st of May anywhere, but town hall is an essential business. So applying for permits is considered essential business. Most of that is still going on. So we can do the preliminary work. We just can't do any work
Okay.
until this is all straightened out. But I think we're in very good shape for having this work done this summer. And while the addition of the drainage to the project added a substantial sum to the money, I think that we're all going to be happier once that is done and we're not constantly flooding out, not just us, but our neighbors.
Right. Right. Okay, yeah, I was kind of hoping because it's a drainage project issue too, that we might be able to slip it under essential, but
Well, no, but I think we might be able to secure the gap funding as a result. So I think the next thing, Jim, after we meet with him next week, we should consider writing Patty Ritchie and see what she has to say.
all right, very good.
Okay.
Very good. Anyone have any questions for Kevin? Boy, this thing is a long time coming, but it's going
Oh
to
my
be so great
God.
once it's done.
But you know what? Things work out for a reason, and we're in a much better position now to execute than we were even just a year ago. So
Absolutely, because taking out a loan was something that made me a little
made
cautious.
me nervous, of course, makes us nervous.
Okay, if there's no other, is there any other old business? Excellent, let's move on to new business. The bylaw review. Now, Jessica, remind us exactly what the issue is here.
You have the range listed, but you don't have the number of voting positions listed. It's kind of picky in that,
Yeah, we have to add language in there that we authorize 5 positions to be filled, 5 voting positions to be filled.
yeah, because you included the range, which is what we needed, but now we need the number of voting positions also in the bylaws.
Are we limited as to how many we can have in
No.
our charter?
All 15 can be voting, but
Okay.
what you do is you authorize. So because we are currently 5, you basically authorize 5 voting positions. And then later, if we want to expand the board, you can authorize more voting positions. But that way, you know, we can't be forced to add people who all of a sudden outnumber the people who the town has appointed to run the library.
Because right now our bylaws read that each trustee shall have 1 vote, irrespective of the office held.
Yeah. So what this is about is you can have a range of 5 to 15, but basically you have to authorize how many you're actually going to fill. So if we decided later to expand the board to 7, we would have to authorize those 2 additional voting positions.
Okay. So
Yeah, the bylaws are constantly revised whenever you get more voting positions. So say if you get 6 next time or 7 people, then you have to include you keep the range always 5 to 15 because
Right.
that's in your charter. You can't change the charter. You know how long that takes to change.
Oh, yeah.
If it's 5 to 15, then you can include 7 or 9 or whatever number you want. You just have to revise the bylaws continually. But right now we've had 5 for a long time, so.
And 5 seems to be working very well.
so
No one's disagreeing, so.
No, I think it's fine.
what should be the new verbiage for this?
Let me pull up the document, Chaz.
Yeah, I sent a sample email that tells some about 5 voting positions.
You know, actually, I think we have to do it by resolution and not by the bylaws. I think we have to do a resolution that says the board authorizes 5 voting members of the Board of Trustees. I don't think it's in the bylaws. I think it's by resolution.
So you're saying a resolution to change the bylaws?
No, I'm saying a resolution to authorize 5 voting members of the Board of Trustees as provided for in the bylaws. because you're not changing the bylaws. What you're doing is by resolution authorizing the number of voting trustees that are currently holding
But the
seats.
problem is we have to change the bylaws because it states in the charter that we can have 5 to 15 members. We currently have 5 members.
Oh,
That's where it doesn't agree with the bylaws.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we already made that change. Did we not already make that change?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did.
Then why does the bylaws not state that we have 5?
I'm looking at the bylaws. It says right now, the number of trustees shall not be less than 5, no more than 15. Well, what we have to do is we have to pass a board resolution authorizing 5 voting members of the Board of Trustees as provided for underneath the bylaws. Because right now it can be less than 5, no more than 15, but we have no official declaration of exactly how many people are on the Board of Trustees because we've updated our bylaws.
But Jessica, at the last meeting, you were saying that it still didn't agree with the charter.
Yeah, I have the email I sent to Dawn Vincent. I sent you guys all a copy of it. I'm trying to upload it, but my internet's taking forever.
Okay,
Let's
just go
see.
ahead and read it.
I'll
'Cause I
see.
like-
I'll tell you what she said.
I'd like to get this wrapped up tonight.
I'm trying to find the email. I'm trying to find that email. It's taken forever, my computer.
What was the name of the person that sent it?
I got
Dawn,
Dawn Vincent.
I got it. I got it.
Oh, here it is. I just found it.
Right here.
whoa.
Nice.
Okay.
So it's just the bylaws.
Okay, so it's just the bylaws. That's my misunderstanding.
Right.
Um,
And so it just needs to say, it says it has a range of, has 5 to 15 members with currently 5 members serving on the board.
All right, so here's the bylaws. So we could add in here if we wanted to. Let me just turn this on, suggesting.
The current number of,
Yeah,
you
it
better
just
say
says
trustees.
included-
Of
There.
Then we're gonna need to modify it down a little bit lower in there to get rid of that each trustee shall have 1 vote. Does that
no, but that's
Why, Chaz?
why.
does that contradict? Oh, no, okay,
Nope, it doesn't.
gotcha.
Okay, no problem.
Okay,
looks good.
everyone good with that?
Yep.
Can I get a motion to approve the change to the bylaws, please?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you. That's from Chaz. I need a second.
I'll second that motion.
Thank you, Paula. All in favor?
Aye.
Very good. Finally, that is dealt with. Okay. On to the response to the COVID-19 outbreak. Did everyone have a chance to look at that document that I sent over from Susan?
Yes.
Yes.
I just received that a short while ago. Timing was almost spot on. I mean, I would have appreciated a couple hours earlier, so we would have had more time to go through it. But I like the idea of developing a team, pandemic response team, of 2 board members and the library director. Going forward after tonight. Do we have any board members who are interested in being on that team?
I can.
Okay,
Jen, thank you.
I will with reservation. I feel like it's would be a good committee to be on, and I feel like it's important. As with everyone else that's working and doing multiple things, I just wonder about the depth of commitment that I could make to doing. Like wouldn't want to take the lead on it, I think is what I'm saying.
Okay.
But I would be happy to help for sure. I'd be happy to be a team member on that.
Great.
Jim, would that also include any technology? Like, are we going to need someone tech savvy to run the tech portion of the pandemic response?
I don't know that we would need someone for that.
Okay.
This is basically to help us develop the plans. So it's not like just me saying, this is what we need to do. You know, we need to scramble and do all this and everything, and then trying to get with everybody. If the director and two of the board members are already sitting down together and saying, okay, we're taking all this information in, and these are the next steps we need to take, they can present that to the board and we can go ahead and move on it.
Okay.
What it's also going to do is shorten up the time we're going to be sitting in board meetings discussing all of this.
Yeah, my only hesitation is right now with this, my work is just insane for me. I mean, we're at the opposite end of the spectrum. We have more work than we can handle.
Okay. I think it's great that, you know, we have Jessica, Jennifer, and Paula. Sounds like a good team to me. And I don't think it's going to require a huge time commitment, honestly. And you guys
Thank
can
you
pretty
very
much set your own time when you want to, you know, talk to. You could probably do a lot of it even by email.
Right.
Right.
I figured it might be helpful that the information that we get from the schools and whatnot, knowing kind of what their stuff is. So I don't
Right.
mind doing both, you know, I'm already kind of doing it.
And I certainly can do some of the research behind the scenes during the day while I'm doing other things at my job. I see there's a lot of links on here for things to review and that sort of thing. So I'm certainly happy to help with that.
Great, thank you. I did read down through the governor's executive order, and we have to stay closed until through the 15th at least.
Yeah.
That's where things stand. Now, understandably, the federal government has said through April 30th that we have to still practice social distancing guidelines, but the governor, I think, is taking a more cautious approach where he's going by 2 weeks at a time, because as we just saw in the last 2 days, the models changed abruptly in 2 days. And it just proved to everyone that we really don't know what this is going to do, because things change every single day, and different. I'm sorry, I just got distracted, Sherry. I'm afraid your cat's going to pull your blouse down.
Oh no. Oh, he's not. You guys can see him because I don't see him in my reflection.
I see a
on
paw
there.
reaching up, and I'm
Yes.
like, any second he's going to pull that right down.
This is him.
Oh, kitty. Oh.
That's him. He's in love.
Am I already getting red? Okay. So with that in mind, Jennifer, you have on who's going to be on that team now?
Yes, so it's going to be myself, Paula, and Jessica.
Yes. All right, and Jessica, you're on there because you've got to handle everything as far as the functioning of the library itself.
Oh, we have weekly meetings with NCLS talking about it, so I get updates from them as well about the construction, York State construction, even though we're not doing it through NCLS, but.
Right. But that's good, because then you can share information from your directors' meetings with the rest of the team, and then pulling all that information together, you guys can give us one plan at a time instead of trying to look at it all at once. So did everyone have a chance to review the resolution?
You actually don't have to review it because it's new business, so I just wanted to introduce it so that people could have an opportunity to review it.
Hold on. We're still on the COVID-19 response.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's okay. The resolution regarding the
Yes.
the continued closure of the library and the continued compensation for full and part-time employees.
Yes.
Okay. I brought the question up not too long ago, and someone pointed out that the budget includes full payment for the year.
That's right.
For the employees. So we've got money budgeted in there to cover for them.
Right. And they're still earning, they're still doing tasks. So there's, we are fully within every requirement that we're supposed to be in.
That's right. And ladies, the question came up, are you expected to pull in your absolutely, right on the dot 33 hours? That's why we put you on-call status. What that means is we know you're not going to be working full 33 hours because you're not in the library doing the work you normally do. But it does mean that if something comes up we need you to do, or rather Jessica needs you to do, you'll take care of it.
Mhm.
Well, and I think transitioning a lot of our programming to being online, that's actually quite time consuming. I feel like some of it might be more time consuming than what we do in the library. So, time wise, I think we're actually putting in more time than people think.
Yeah, I do 2.5, 3 hours every night.
Yeah. No,
So-
and the board really appreciates everything that you're
No,
doing.
we do.
I think that we should all be proud of our little library here in Sandy Creek and the fact that we are
Definitely.
providing services. So, I'm really proud of this team and what you guys are doing.
I have to tell you, I'm surprised. Well, I want to say I'm surprised we don't get more accolades from NCLS because I hear what other libraries aren't doing. But I'm not looking for praise. I'm excited the fact that we are going above and beyond in a lot of different areas. And this new online programming is actually going to take us in a whole nother direction because we were discussing this, Jessica and Felicia and I. Sherry, I just haven't had a chance to talk with you yet. But actually going, even when we reopen the library, recording a story hour and then posting it at a later time for those people who can't be at story hour that week, and the poor kids have to miss it.
Yeah.
The parents can still sit down. This is an opportunity for a parent to sit down with their child and have quality time with their child listening to a story from someone they know. I think having this sort of thing go on and being able to do, Celicia, even though you're doing your writing and reading groups in person once the library is back open, being able to do that online at the same time, so for someone who's ill and can't get in there or they're away or something, I think it's going to be fantastic. We're going to open ourselves up more. Someone said, well, isn't this going to keep people from coming into the library? I don't think so. I think it's going to show that we're reaching out more and more and more.
Mhm.
I agree.
So I appreciate all of you for all that
I
you
do believe we're going to need some technology updates. And
Well-
hopefully we can get that taken care of.
I think you're right, and Jess, if you need to put that together, then let's bring that before the board next meeting.
Yeah, we did talk about folks about updating the wish list. So the sky's the limit. Some things we may have to say, not at this time. But sorry about that. The door alarm is still on. Should have.
Is that the smoke alarm?
No, it's the door alarm for the shop, the garage. And my wife must be standing next to the store closet that's right there and setting off the alarm. I should have reminded her that I'm still up here. So it's great. I just want to say I appreciate you all very much and all that we're doing. And for a little tiny library that doesn't get much credit for anything else, we're doing some really fantastic things. And we're reaching out into the community above and beyond what was expected of us and showing people that, we're here to stay. Whether our doors are open or not, we're still open.
Mhm.
So thank you all very much. Can I get a motion to accept that resolution?
So moved.
Thank you, Kevin. Need a second?
I second it.
Thank you, Jen. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. On to the endowment fund.
Okay, so this resolution I'm just providing to you as information so that you have time to digest it. As you know, this board and Brandy and Rachel and Ashley, who were on the board previous to this, have worked very hard to turn the financial situation of the library around. And Jessica has really made that possible with her really prudent management of the library. So as we look forward to the future, and we think about the kinds of things that we need to do as a board, it's clear that we need to establish an endowment fund, particularly as we change our status to 501c3. The purpose of the endowment fund is to hold monies that the board receives that are either designated or the board designates for the purposes of the endowment. The endowment can basically be three different things. We can, depending on the size of the endowment, we would want to have an investment committee to advise the board on how to best invest funds. We also, the purpose of the endowment is to generate income that can be used for purposes as designated by the board. And from time to time, the board may choose to reach into the endowment for a capital project. So this resolution simply sets up that endowment fund. And any non-designated contributions that we might receive, the board may choose in the future to allocate them to the endowment fund to make sure that those funds are spent in the best interest of the library. So I'm just providing this to you to read. This would have to be approved concurrent with our full transition to 501c3 or status, which we expect in the next few months. So I just wanted to get this on the table and in front of everyone.
Great, thank you. It's a great idea because it's showing that we want to be fiscally prudent with all the monies that come in and that we want to have a better control, but also a clear and present control. So if anyone ever asks, through a FOIL, a Freedom of Information Act, they can see exactly what we're doing with the money and that it's all being fiscally responsible.
Mm-hmm.
So anyone have any questions about the endowment fund?
If you do, as you're reviewing it, just please email me and I will gather all those questions and present them back to the board as a whole so we can discuss them at our next meeting. So if you have questions in the meantime, just email me and I'll put them on sort of a query log so that we all have access to that when we next meet.
Okay. Does anyone have any other new business?
How's the 501c3 going? Is it?
Do we have an update on that? I mean, you said a few months.
I have to check in with Ashley because
Okay.
she was going to close that as one of the last things that she did.
Because I gave you that clipboard full of thousands of pages.
Yeah, no, I have to just, the last conversation I had with Ashley, she wanted to close that chapter out. So let me just, I will reach out to her before our next meeting.
Okay, and is that the last thing that Ashley has that that we have to wrap up?
Yes.
Okay, good. Good, because I mean, appreciate all that she's done with the board, but with her not being on the board anymore, we need to move on.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, if there's no other new business, our next meeting date will be April 14th. We're looking at doing the same setup again because we'll still all be on the social distancing guidelines.
Okay.
Same time work for everyone?
Yes.
6 o'clock. Okay, and we'll jump on a little early.
Yep.
So we don't have to do all this rushing around beforehand. We know this works, Zoom works. Someone will send out, one of you, Chaz or Kevin, will send out the invitation.
I'm going to do it right now.
Okay. And then Chaz, you will set up the link and get that information over to Celicia.
Yep.
Excellent. Well, since we didn't
Will
really
that be a full board meeting or will that just be a continuance of the discussion about opening or closing?
I think we probably should do,
Other items be discussed, I guess.
I'm going to suggest that we do full board meeting because I have a feeling we're going to have to vote on the capital project at that meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think, we've had a couple of brief ones. We need to get back onto a schedule and have our regular meetings.
If you guys can give me the agenda items by the Friday before, that would be extremely helpful. Just so we're not going back and forth. Because if I send it a week in advance, it's literally going to be on Tuesday. So if you can kind of maybe plan on by Friday of, what is it? The 10th of any items and try to get that so I can send out an agenda.
Okay. Yeah, because that could be posted on. Chaz, can you post that ahead of time on the YouTube link or Celicia?
I don't handle the YouTube page. It's all Chaz.
Yeah, I can schedule it to start and then we can put that information on there once the agenda is made.
Okay, very good. So if someone wants to see ahead of time what we're going to discuss,
Yep.
That's fine. Okay.
And
If
I just sent the link for the meeting, so that's all set up.
Great, thank you. I like how efficient we've become. Things are happening quickly. Great. Thank you all so much. I mean, these last few days, last few weeks have been really harried and hectic. And a lot of things have been happening at the last minute because, again, it's unprecedented. This is not something we've dealt with before. Hopefully we'll never have to deal with it again, but at least now we know we can deal with it.
Yeah, exactly. All right, stay safe, everyone.
Yes, you too.
You
Can I ask a motion to adjourn, please?
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Kevin. I believe all are in favor. Thanks, Jen. All in favor?
Aye.
Please, everyone, stay safe and healthy.
All right, thanks, Jim.
You too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.